That's it. No, you gotta win it first. It's mine. You want it? No, you gotta win it.
Okay, welcome to Daytona Sandown Park Super Champs 2022. This is round one. And as you can see here, things are moving very, very quickly. So I'm obviously attempting to go for pole position. And I've decided that all you need to do is speed up time. If you speed up time, you go much faster. And as you can see, I'm about to do about a 20-second lap time here, which is a personal best for me, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So here we are. You do one out lap, and then you do one flying lap. So this is the flying lap we're going on now. We're really flying here, aren't we? Look at that. Then you're going to do an in lap. And this is obviously, as you can see, a bit of a wet, dry track. So when we went out for practice, it was totally wet, and here we are back in and getting out. So now we can go and have a look and see who's on pole. Courtesy of me managing to speed up time, I was on pole. Now I don't know what I did there actually. I tried to turn the GoPro on and obviously pressed some kind of speed up button or something like that. So anyway, that was a bit disappointing. I was a bit worried that I had gone a bit too conservative. You can see that the track is rapidly drying. We're just going to give this poor bloke here a little bit of room. As you can see, he looked a little bit alarmed with a whole pack weaving towards him, trying to stay off the wet patches. But we're starting on pole, so I'm really pleased with that. Alongside, we've got Anthony Unit. In third place, we've got a lightweight driver. I'm really sorry, I don't know that person's name. And then in fourth, we've got very fast Tom Brown. Anthony Unit tries to make his way over to the right-hand side. And in this rapidly wet, dry track, moving towards dry, I just decide that I've got to go in almost as fast as if it was a fully dry track. Because, if you don't, you're just going to get swamped. And as I look around here, I see that I've got about a car or two lengths gap, which is obviously pretty good. We've been able to maintain our lead. I think it was pretty beneficial actually. I was the last DMAX out to do my super pole lap. So you basically do one lap. So this, like I say, is the Daytona Super Champs at Sandown Park. Now I've competed in the Super Champs at Milton Keynes before. I've never competed in the Super Champs at Sandown Park. In fact, I think this is the first time Sandown Park are doing it. As you can see, again, the wet, dry nature of turn one, causing all kinds of trouble there. Now, what that means is that there's going to be Sodis and DMAX on the track at the same time. So a little bit like Le Mans. We're pretty much Le Mans drivers here, and with the big boys, LMP1. And then the Sodis are like LMP2, but it's really interesting actually to see the differences in the kind of characteristics between the Sodis and the DMAXs. And in particular, I think with the DMAX, something I've learned is that if you let the revs drop too much in the DMAX, they just go absolutely nowhere. There is no chance. So go a little bit defensive here. And that's going to become very, very obvious coming out of some of the slow corners. The Sodis just pull away. And the Sodis are also, I think, a little bit heavier. And in these kind of conditions, that is a bit of a benefit. But like I was saying a moment ago, I was the last DMAX out. And the practice session we had 10 minutes practice. That was totally wet, soaking wet. And by the time qualifying came around, the conditions were not too dissimilar to what we've got now. Every lap, it's drying up ever so slightly, but I think I did benefit actually. It was a 2/10 gap between myself and Anthony Unit in second place. But as the track dries, it's going to be the lighter drivers where the momentum swings towards. We're rapidly seeing the track drying. The kind of advantage is going from the heavier drivers who can push the tyres into the ground towards the lighter drivers who are obviously going to be a little bit faster on the straight. So I'm just going to try and make hay where the sun shines here. So I am, again, a heavyweight. Now, the weight categories have changed a little bit. It used to be that heavyweights were 80 kilograms and upwards. And this year it's 90 kilograms and upwards. It means I've had to carry quite a lot of ballast. And that really worried me, actually. I found in the past that when I strap a load of ballast onto the cart, it really changes the way the cart feels. I've really struggled and struggled to adapt as we come across our first Sodis here. And actually, you see that big hit. We came across these Sodis, but also a yellow flag came out. And it was the one of the lightweight drivers in second place, as we just get tangled up a little bit with that Sodi, who obviously was unsighted by the yellow and came round and hit me in the rear. I think he spun as a result of that. I've had a look at someone else's footage, Philip Abulah's footage, so go and check that out as well. That's a good watch. But I think he hit me. Presumably didn't know that there was a yellow flag out, and in these very wet, dry conditions, very easy to do that. Very easy to just lose control. So unfortunate for him. But as you can see there, managing the Sodis is not easy, particularly if they are fighting and they're in a fight. And if they are in a fight, they're not going to want to get out of the way. In this kind of wet, dry track, you can see that the dry line here is really obvious. You can see on the inside it's really wet still. I don't particularly want to go on that. The Sodis don't want to go on that either, understandably. And so going offline to overtake the Sodis is going to become increasingly difficult. Again, into the heavy braking of turn 6, the inside line is wet. Normally a pretty good overtaking spot, but not ideal. And this is quite a nice demonstration of the difference in speed between the Sodis and the DMAX. You can see it's a terrible do you don't you kind of moment there, but once the DMAX gets high up into the rev range, it really goes, doesn't it? I mean, look at that. That's we were sort of 5-6 car lengths behind, but as you'll see, on occasions when I have to go offline and the revs drop, it becomes really problematic and really difficult for really difficult to get past them. So it's an interesting kind of experience, this, looking at the difference between the two carts. And certainly last year I was racing in I guess we've got another yellow flag, which is always going to be bad news. I'm just looking behind me to check and make sure that no one is gaining on me. It's competitive like that, but of course they're going to be. I'm just going to go up the inside. Right, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. Look at this. So that Sodi just out drags me on the way out, because I had to. And then we have to go on the wet part of the track to get past him, getting it all wrong. We're going to be losing loads of time doing this, it's really interesting, isn't it? It really demonstrates how important it is to keep the revs up in the DMAX. Now, if you're one of my competitors, close your ears, because I don't want you, looking at my mistakes and then coming and destroying me next time. So, no, of course you can, if we all work from each other. There's a Sodi waving me through, and actually we're about to lap our first DMAX competitor here. I guess this guy perhaps had a spin or something, because it's quite early in the race to be lapping people. But what that Sodi driver did there was really great, actually, really helpful. Now, if the Sodis are aware that we're coming, we both, us and them, lose much less time. It was really great. The people who were pointing us through certainly ended up losing less time rather than the guys who we ended up having to lunge a little bit just to get past. And I know the temptation is to think, why doesn't the DMAX driver, why don't we just wait until instances like this where we can just drive past them on the straight? Well, the reason for that is that I know there's a whole host of very quick drivers right behind me, and if I'm not aggressive on the overtake, then I'm going to lose position, and of course that's really bad news, isn't it? So I have to say, actually, in the briefing before we went out, Seb, the race director, did say to us, you know, look, don't fight with people who are not in. Sorry, that's my phone. Don't fight with people who are not in your class, because you're just going to slow each other down. And actually, there was some really, really respectful racing today. And do you know what? It was really great, because this is the most difficult conditions, I think. When it's fully wet, you know exactly how much grip you've got, which is none. When it's fully dry, you know exactly how much grip you've got. It's the same every lap. These kind of conditions here, these are the conditions that are kind of almost in a way the most challenging, because you just don't know how much grip you've got. It changes from corner to corner, and this is one of these horrible moments. You've got two kart drivers here who are fighting. They don't want to give up any space at all. I know that there are guys coming after me, it's just one of those sort of unfortunate things. There's a moment a little bit later on where two Sodies are battling, and they're side by side, and I lose about 3 or 4 seconds, and then I end up losing a place, which is obviously really, really kind of frustrating. But you know what? I lost a couple of places over the course of this race. But they were two lightweight drivers, and I didn't really fight them too much, because again, just like when there's no point in battling with a Sodi driver who is not in your championship. There's also no point in battling too hard the drivers who are in the lightweight division if you're heavyweight. So we're coming up here to the sharp end of the Sodis. I believe this guy in the blue, I believe he won the Sodi lightweight division. So again, we don't really want to be interrupting their race any more than we want our race interrupted by then. Like I say, I was having a little bit of fun with one of the lightweight drivers who sort of overtook me. That is certainly this guy. So Philip Babulau is going to come past us in a lap or two. He's already beginning to bump draft me down the straight. So by that I mean he's just nudging the back of me and just pushing me forward ever so slightly. It was really, really sensible racing. What he was doing there actually was he was helping myself and him build a gap before we start having a fight. Because if he does that, then he's got a gap to the rest of the field, and the other lightweight drivers who are going to be following him and trying to take his position away. So he helped myself and him build a gap, and as the lightweight driver, Sodi driver looks around, really, really helpful when they do that. You just know that they have found you, and there's going to be no issues at all with them changing line or anything like that. Like I say, I hope you really hope you enjoy this. We ended up, it's an hour-long race. We ended up doing 74 laps, and so Philip Babulau is the overall winner. So congratulations to him. I was the winner in the heavyweight, so yeah, really pleased with that actually. Like I say, at the start of the session, I was really worried about carrying lots of excess ballast, because I just felt that in the past when I've done that, I've really, really struggled to adapt to the different weight and different characteristics. But actually, you can see this kart was an absolute weapon. When Philip does go past, you'll see him not exactly disappearing off into the distance. After 74 laps, he was 10 seconds ahead of me at the flag. And then I think I was about 4 seconds behind overall second place. I think this kart was an absolute weapon. And if we go to, I'll keep talking until the end of this lap. I just want you to have a look at the speedometer. Our exit might be ruined a little bit here actually. But I think we're all right. Have a look at the speedometer, because it registers 56 miles an hour. Now, bearing in mind that I'm weighing up to 90 kilograms, which is sort of considerably more than what I was doing at the end of last season in the in-kart, I'm actually faster down that straight than I was in the final round of the in-kart, only by 1 mile an hour. But it really demonstrates, I think, that this kart was really nice. The other thing that I would say is really, really nice is the brake pedal. The brakes had obviously been serviced on this car, and it was so easy to find the point where the rear was just about to slip. So really, really lovely rear grip, really, really lovely brake pedal, and fast in a straight line. So, you know, can't ask for any more, really. Thanks very much, Daytona. If I can have this car every time, then, you know, that would be great. Cheers. But, yeah, so I hope you enjoy watching it. It is going to get a little bit more interesting in a few minutes when Philip and then again, very sorry, driver who finished second, not sure what your name is, but well done to you. And yeah, we have a little battle for a couple of minutes, but again, like I said, I wonder how many times I said again in this video. Why do I keep doing that? Drinking game for me saying again. Anyway, so finishing position is yeah, really pleased to be taking home the win for the heavyweights, and congratulations to Anthony and Andy, who were joining me up on the podium. With a shame I can't. I wanted to put the picture up, but Sandown haven't released the photographs yet, so never mind. But the other thing, just before I sign off, is that I asked for this round to be my joker. So what that means is that you can get a 50% boost with your joker. Your joker kind of yeah, well, that's what it means basically. Before the race, you say, "I want this round to be my joker," and then however many points you score, you get a 50% boost. And actually, that worked out really well for me because I got pole and I got the fastest lap in my weight category. And I won, so it really couldn't have gone any better. I'm really, really pleased, really, really fortunate with the way this went. Yeah, terrific day. Sometimes things just go right all of the time, and sometimes they go wrong all of the time. This is one of the days which went right. With regard to lap time, my fastest lap, I think it was a 46.7 or a 46.8. It was 1/10 off the fastest lap time of the day, which I believe was Tom Brown. He did a 46. I think he did a 46.7. I think I did a 46.8. So again, you know, really, really good lap times, considering the sorts of conditions, and I think I have to say thank you to the kart for that, because you know, doing those kind of lap times so close to lighter weight drivers, when there's about a 20 kilogram difference, you know, I think it's probably down to a very good engine on this car. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and you know, if you do fancy popping down, yeah, please do. I know that some of you will be kind of preparing and focusing for the in-kart at Sandown Park as well. So I look forward to seeing you guys there, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm also in the in-kart, so in a couple of weeks' time I'll be competing around one in the in-kart, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much.